Let's try that again. Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, coming to bring you that boom bap breakfast. Yes, not me, but us. Let me help y'all to get on the bus, the plane, but not the planes right now because the airports is crazy. But right now, we about to fly off and bring the flyness to you with no other than Evan. Burn it down, Kim Brad. And Renee Johnston.
Woo! Now you hear how that Johnston ring out.
I know, like that echo is no joke.
Hey. What's up, party people?
Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
That was the song right there, man. Busta Rhymes had a reign. I don't think we give Busta the props he deserves. Like the years he's been since the 80s to now, still doing it. One of the best MCs because he has Jamaican descent and because he knows how to he learned from Papa San. I know Renee know about Papa San.
I do.
All right. He learned from some of the best MCs out of Jamaica, seeing how they rock the stage and then brought that to the whole, hip hop stage. But anyway, enough of my hip hop history. Since this is November Hip Hop History Month, and since this Thursday, I'll be doing a live mix, hip hop mix for Hip Hop History Month. All right. Got right out the way. How y'all doing?
Great. How's everybody feeling this morning? It's another day. You woke up in America. Aren't you lucky?
Lucky is not the word I would use. Grateful to wake up. Grateful to wake up.
Free? You didn't wake up free? You didn't get up this morning and sniff some freedom, Evan? It didn't smell free in the air?
It don't smell free in this country.
Did y'all get some snow yesterday? We got some down here in Atlanta.
No, it was cold.
Dude, it's snowing right now.
It's snowing now in New York?
I'm in Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. Say less. That's crazy.
I'm also in North Jersey, so I don't know if it's actually snowing in New York, but it's snowing in North Jersey. So
let it snow.
Yeah, man.
I'm not ready for snow.
So if it does snow and government is shut down, who's going to shovel the snow?
Government still shut down. Federal government doesn't shovel snow, beloved.
Oh, I know.
Oh, they don't.
That would be your local.
Just like the garbage collectors were not part of the federal government.
Oh,
it's like right. So yeah.
I need a list of who work for the federal government so I can know. So what does Claudia talk about? Your ass here, doctor. What does that even mean? See how mean people are early in the morning? God damn, what I do to you, Claudia?
I think people are confused how at your big age you did not you assumed that the federal government shoveled the snow. Come on, you didn't think that, did you?
Why not? It's a government-like job, ain't it? You work you get a government check, don't you? Thank you, Evan. Thank you. I see your head, Evan. Keep going. Don't try to wait for other people, Evan. You like, damn, that do make sense.
Nah, I just think Cloud's tired of you calling her Claudia. That's what I think.
Well, that's what she get for being fucking. Excuse my language early this morning for disrespect.
You better watch it, man.
Hey.
I'll put my hands on you, man. You better watch it.
Anyway, how was your weekend, Evan? Let's start with you.
My weekend was awesome. Was outside. We presented at the 2025 Public Anthropology Conference put on by American University. BAP and DPC presented. PACA presented. MXGM presented. The undefeated Jackie Luqman presented at the end, was on a closing keynote.
Ooh.
Great job. So yeah, shout out to all of us, man.
Okay, big up yourself. Big pat your back. All right, what about you, Kim? How about what was your weekend?
I was working in the garden.
In the garden?
In the garden.
It's cold. What you was
But
doing in the garden?
collard greens still growing, so are carrots. I got
Okay.
some onions, some
Wait a
onions.
minute, you got collard greens, carrots. Let me tell y'all something. Kim wasn't growing shit a little while ago. She really got a green thumb on. Big up to you, Kim.
That's
Thank
legit.
you. Though it's not a legit harvest, though. You know what I'm saying? But my goal is to work my way up to that point, because y'all, with the government and shit being shut down and Trump being in office, like food inspections, don't trust it. I'm not trusting FDA inspections out here with the sourcing of the food. So
yeah, I feel you on that. Okay, so that's it.
I'm trying to grow some food. Maybe I can get a cow in the backyard. That'd be cool.
Now, Renee, other than your podcast this weekend, how was your weekend?
It was okay. We didn't really do too much. I'm not feeling winter. I don't like being cold. So once we start all this like time change, I gotta like wear a scarf to walk the dog. I'm good. Like
The
I
time
just,
change is crazy.
I'm with you, Renee, because I'm a summer baby too. So
right,
anytime
right.
the days get shorter, we have less sunlight, less warmth. I'm like, nigga, just wake me up in April. Like I will be I'll be hibernating.
Wake me up in April.
Like, I can't deal. I get the winter blues. I get the sads for real. Like every year, because I hate being cold. I hate it so bad.
Damn.
It gets dark so fast, man. You be trying to like go for a walk, finish up some stuff, and it's like, yo, it's nighttime outside. Like,
Yo, I was going to sleep at like 9 and 10 o'clock this weekend.
Yeah. I like count down to December 22nd, December 20, whatever the solstice is, so that I can like, I'd be like, okay, they're gonna start getting longer now. Because this whole at 4:30 is dark outside, it just throws off your whole like everything. It throws off everything. I could never live like in Alaska where they have them days where it's just dark. Like, there's no sunlight.
Higher rates of unaliving as a result. Like people don't fare well. Though I wonder, gang, if we didn't have to endure and perform capitalism, would we be able to better adjust our bodies to these time changes? Or would the time changes even happen because they happen because of capitalism, right? In a way.
I mean, yes, and right, like yes to both of those, right? It reminds me of that meme, like you don't hate Mondays, you hate capitalism. Like Monday didn't do anything to you. It's the start.
Monday is a cool day.
It's
for working,
but it sucks for work. And yeah, to that end, right? Like I mean, like when kids go to school, or like when we're supposed to, when it's supposed to be, all that stuff is connected to now to like a work system that is terrible, as opposed to like us growing food, which makes more sense, but it'd be easier to get up early if I knew I was growing something that I was going to eat. I'm gonna be real.
Okay. Well, is there anything going on in the world? Since y'all didn't ask me about my weekend.
I'm sorry, your doctor. How was your weekend? Did you gig this weekend?
Huh?
Did you gig this weekend?
Did I gig this weekend? I don't think I did. I had a no gig weekend. Shit was crazy. But yeah, I got to hang out with my daughter when I picked her up, and we went out and about and hung out, and I forgot what we did. We went and got something to eat, went and walked around. It was nice Saturday. It was so nice and sunny Saturday. It was beautiful.
Your daughter wants to hang out with you. I like that. That says something about you, because she's a teenager, so she could easily be doing other things, but she likes to hang out with her dad. That's nice.
And we went out and we was hanging out, and I always run into people. She's like, every time we go out, somebody knows you, son. So we just sitting in front of this ice cream parlor in Atlantic Station, and this two dudes walk up. I'm like, oh boy. So they walk up, and one dude is like, yo, man, you look just like my uncle, man. Let me show you a picture of him. So I was like, yeah, whatever. He still pulls the camera out, and I'm like, oh shit. A doppelganger. He was an older version of me.
Oh wow.
So dude asked to take a picture with me so he could send it to his uncle and stuff. My daughter's sitting there like this every time we go out.
I'm tired.
Well, I know. Can you imagine growing up with a famous parent? Like everywhere you go. I'm not saying I'm famous, but I'm just saying. I'm ghetto fabulous.
You get recognized on the streets. People want to take flicks with you. What you call that?
Ghetto fabulous, baby. You know what I'm saying? All right. Big up to all the Scorpios. Listen, I don't know if I'm still gonna have my party because Kim says she ain't gonna be able to make it, but I'm gonna see what I'll do anyway.
If it was in Jersey, I could be there. But
I feel
Atlanta,
you. That's a drive. That's a flight.
That's a bit of a hizike.
And these airports right now, forget about it.
Thunderdome at the airports.
You're not paying nobody, man. Not paying nobody to do that.
All right. So let's go ahead and get this party started, I guess. Might as well. Y'all look like y'all ready to talk about world problems. All right, so let's do it right here. Or let me get this together. No other than, y'all know it, the Remix Morning Show. Hey, I get it. We run New York. Hey. What's good, everybody? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, and donate where? BLKLiberationMedia.org. Yes, go there and get you some fly gear that looks like this. Oh my goodness, it's hoodie season. Go get your hoodie. Stop playing. Donate. We are demonetized. Go ahead. QR code right there. Go ahead and get your phone out and blam that. And show your love. Let's get to the weather, man. I know y'all been waiting to be like, damn, I wonder what the weather is like. Let me wait till Tuesday and see what Ear Doctor has to say. All right, ATL, we got a high of 48 degrees. It's 27 degrees this morning, yo. Freezing, brick weather. All right, DC, they got a high of 47 degrees. Chicago, they got a high of 42 degrees. Houston, big up to Houston. They got a high of 71 degrees. Nice and warm. Y'all better go to Houston or something. Next, let's go to Suriname. Suriname has a high of 86 degrees. Yes. And now let's go to the motherland and no other land. Let's take you to Angola. They got a high of 83 degrees. Pretty hot, but I'll tell you what's not hot. The fact that we lost a legend this weekend. Who am I talking about? Lenny Wilkens. That's right. Do you know who Lenny Wilkens is? Well, let me put you down real quick. Lenny Wilkens is that guy. We talking about coach, basketball player. Let me just name some of the accolades he got here. We talking about Nathan Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame guy. Put it like that. As a coach, as a player, I mean, he did it with the Dream Team. He did it as a player. He did it all times. 15 greatest coaches in NBA history. 75th anniversary team. He also got inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, he's done it all, man. He was a great dude. I got to meet him one time. Cool dude. He just made his transition at the age of 88. So he lived a nice long life. You know what I'm saying? And he also has a foundation called the Lenny Wilkens Foundation for Children. He was out there in Washington. He was married to Marilyn Reed until his death, from 1962 to his death. And they had 3 children. So big up to his family. With that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
I keep it gangsta, y'all London talk. I get it. And the hood is gangsta, about me to tell y'all.
Who is that? Is that Kamal K? Franklin.
What's up, fam? How y'all doing?
All right.
Good morning.
Like the Brady Bunch out here without Greg and Marsha.
Mm-hmm. How you feeling, Kamal?
I feel good. My screen looks a little odd. There's like a couple of things up on here, and I haven't changed my StreamYard. Yeah, I can't see it on the front ground, but in my background, basically, I got 3 different sets of pictures of everybody up here, and I don't know what to do with that. but it's freaking me out because it's just too much from all of you. Although I love you all dearly, but I'm doing good. Other than that, I'm doing good.
Okay. Well, we got another view.
You got a shirt today?
Huh?
Like 20 degrees outside, and you walking around like that,
bro? It's hot in my house. You know what I'm saying? I got my heat on. Blue ass.
You got project
read my mind. I saw that shirt. I was like, how hot is it in his house?
That's my Dr. John Henry Clark shirt right here.
He got project heat going on up in the house or something like
man.
that.
Radiator is on
Radiators
blast, son. You burn your skin, you go touch it. Stop playing.
You can literally cook food on project radiators if you wanted to.
For real.
Yeah, you literally could at some point. Yeah.
Project and public school radiators.
Say it again.
Project and public school radiators.
Public school. Yep.
Evan, you don't know nothing about no public school. Stop playing.
Oh, don't let the enunciation fool you here, doctor.
I don't know nothing about no school.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about no public school. He's strictly parochial and private.
Get him, Evan.
What is parochial? I still don't know what that means. Am I?
You know what? I don't think I know what that means either.
Thank you. Good.
It means religious. It means religious. And you know what I'm saying? Like you come out here, start pronouncing words, saying words, people think that people forget, I went to DC public schools up until high school. So
and we do go to high school.
We'll talk about that on Saturday.
He went to the whitest high school in DC. What was the name of that shit? Somnal. What was it? What was it called?
Shit. Whoa.
What's the name of that?
Leave that man alone. That man don't want to be broadcasting his personal business out here to all y'all.
Okay, you're right.
Man got a good education, but he got it on both sides. Isn't that right, Evan?
I'm sure his colleagues. His colleagues are watching from his high school.
I'm sure they're not.
He went to a high school where he calls for his colleagues.
I'm sure, man.
Like, Evan, what are you up to these days? On Black Liberation Media, like what? What did you just say?
Excuse me?
None of this comes up when I go to the reunions. None of this.
You go? Oh wow.
They're like, oh, you're a militant, huh? Okay.
Har. You're a leftist liberal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
As they wear their MAGA hats and shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
All right, y'all had enough of me. Later.
I missed the whole beginning stuff, right? I missed the whole beginning.
I just want to make sure that I deal with this fake news because I can't have that.
Address, clean it up, Evan. Go ahead. Set the record straight.
Hold on. Why can't I pull things up? Pull up KJ. Oh, there we go. Evan has never and will never, you know what I'm saying, be on some white women. It's always been black women. So we're gonna keep that, you know what I'm saying.
Wow.
Here.
Wow, because you talk proper, you like white women. Are these the correlations people are drawing?
Yeah.
I have very luckily part of the happy man club. What is that? That Jared's always talking about.
I feel like you're sweating, B. I feel like you're sweating a little bit. There's got to be like 2 white women in your past with that kind of stuttering answer. Go ahead, just let it out.
Nah. We'll see. First off, I know with you now. If I say something, you're gonna talk about it later on air. So let me chill.
I know that's right.
I might just forget. I might forget.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't tell anymore when we what is it? We potting. I can't tell when we're potting or not. I can't tell.
I have to save you from yourself.
I have to
save myself. I have to save you from yourself to save myself.
And plus, we don't begrudge white women wholly. We begrudge preferences, right?
Listen,
we begrudge the preference. We don't. You from this area, I would assume that there's been at least one or some others. So it happens.
You ever dated a white dude?
What's funny? If my name were actually Bryce, that would be more accurate, probably.
That would be exactly. I believe in high school your name was Bryce, and then you changed it to Evan later. After that's your name for your white colleagues. Hey, Bryce here. But Kim, you ever dated a white boy?
What?
What?
Yes.
How many?
I had two confirmed white boyfriends. Three white.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not as okay.
But I don't prefer white men. I will deal with one that I like, but I don't go chase them or seek them out. Dating white men, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. And how long you gotta be with somebody for a date?
To be dating as opposed to just having sex with them, you mean?
Yeah.
Snorting? I love when she snorts.
Comes on to ask these questions and then leaves immediately.
I think dating has to be. Yeah, you got to come back if you're going to ask a question. Because I didn't get to do the morning wrap around, so I feel like
no,
bullshit.
I didn't mean to start this.
I feel like you gotta. One, you have to confirm that you're dating. You got to confirm, like we're dating, as opposed to, yo, girl, nobody got to know about this. It's just between us, and that kind of thing. Like no hand holding. If you're not engaged in public hand holding, you're not dating. I
like that. I like that.
Displays of affection, and you're not dating.
I like that. PDA.
That may not be completely true, but
I think it's a duration. Like if you have been seeing someone regularly, let's count regularly like twice a week for a month, I think y'all are dating.
Really?
Yeah.
Suppose it's all hidden away like in hotels and stuff.
Well, then y'all are smashing. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
smashing.
Yeah.
No. Now I know Kamal smashed once.
Wow.
We got some news.
I thought we were potting.
You see, like he might have smashed one of those. What is it? Begin with an A. What they call them?
Where is this going?
You never know where this is going.
I'm cautiously pessimistic about what the A word is. I don't know
where it's going.
That's right. It's enough of this. It's enough of news.
Elon is like call it off. All right. Someone want to hit a.
Yes. 2 step into the news, Naka, please. Thank you. Yo, I don't know. Is that the beginnings of a drum and bass / Detroit electronica? So like what's going on with the elements? Or is that just coming through on my end? Do you guys hear that?
No, it sounds real weird to me. It sounds like it's playing twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's work on that.
Yeah, Doc.
Producer.
I feel at this stage now we need a faster intro, but a boom bap beat now. I feel like that's smooth. I feel like it's almost like Redman shit. We've been kicking that smooth shit for too long now. I need something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You heard Hurricane K, aka Kamal Franklin. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Remix Morning Show. It is Tuesday, 11/11. Is that right? Today's 11/11. I don't know what that means, but anyway, I hope everybody's enjoying their morning so far. We got a full house. Look at all these Negroes on screen. We got. Well, Kamal's, yeah. We got Kamal, we got Evan, we got Renee, we got Kim, and of course, Ear Doctor in the cut, remixers in the chat. Thank you all so much for making some time to join us. As you see, we are broadcasting to you in both portrait and landscape. So if you are watching us from your mobile device, if you are being recommended the Remix Morning Show for the first time on your YouTube stream, please engage, like us, subscribe to the channel. Give us some hype points, even though I don't really know what the hype points are, but hit that button too, if you don't mind. And come on in here. It's blkliberationmedia.org if you want to run us some support. Of course, we got some good news stories on deck for you. Where should we begin, everybody? Is the government still shut down, or?
We should begin with the government shutdown. Officially, I think they're about to vote.
Yeah.
So I'll pull up this story. You wanted to start, Evan, with something?
Well, I was just going to say, it got moved forward just because a bunch of moderate Democrats did what they're known to do, which is fold. So
now, I'm curious. I would like to see the names, because I just heard it was 8 senators. The only name I heard specifically was Virginia Senator Tim Kaine, but I'm just curious. I'm just curious who everybody else was that voted to.
I know the third story down focuses on all 8, but maybe we can do the overview and get to they might be named here too.
Okay. I'll start with the overview. It says Senate reaches deal to reopen government after moderate Democrats cave. The longest federal government shutdown in history will end soon after a group of moderate Democrats caved on their party's health care demands, voting with Republicans on Sunday to advance a funding bill in the Senate. The Senate is expected to pass the deal as early as Monday. The GOP-controlled House will then return to D.C. and pass it later this week, reopening the government. For weeks, Democrats have been insisting that any vote to reopen the government also be tied to a vote to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits expiring at the end of the year, something they repeatedly called a healthcare crisis. Millions of people rely on these subsidies to afford healthcare, and since ACA open enrollment begins on November 1st, many have already seen how the cost of their healthcare will skyrocket. The deal that moderate Democrats cut Republicans doesn't extend those healthcare subsidies, but sets up a future vote to extend them, a vote that will almost certainly fail, as Republicans have no interest in doing this. Proponents of the deal argue it's still a win for them, as Republicans previously weren't willing to hold any votes on restoring ACA subsidies. It says the deal guarantees a vote to extend Affordable Care Act premium tax cuts, which Republicans weren't willing to do anyway, or weren't willing to do, said Senator Tim Kaine. It says here, the reality is that moderate Democrats in particular were looking for an off-ramp from the shutdown, as the expiration of federal food assistance for tens of millions of people and the compounding travel nightmare at airports across the country increasingly weighed on them. There's also a sense among some of the Democrats couldn't win the fight in the long term. Over the weekend, President Trump was digging in more by urging Republicans to repeal the ACA subsidies entirely. So I think there is a list. It says, let me see who else it says. Here we have another senator besides Tim Kaine, Senator Jeanine or Jeanne or Janine, I guess, Sheehan from New Hampshire.
Jean Shaheen.
Thank you. Jean Shaheen from New Hampshire. I know there was a couple of moderates. Evan, I don't know if you have a longer list of the 8.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. My computer's just moved. So I got okay. So I got Dick Durbin from Illinois.
Wow.
I got Jean Shaheen from New Hampshire. Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire. Jackie Rosen from Nevada. Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada. John Fetterman, which is and Angus from Maine, who caucus. They're an independent, but they caucus with the Democrats. So
interesting.
Fetterman, like I said, Fetterman is not surprising. Neither is Kaine.
Most of the polls were showing that the Democrats were, in a sense, winning the battle of public sentiment in terms of who was being blamed for the shutdown. They just came off a historic, relatively speaking, historic win of these these elections on November 4th, where most Democrats won 3 governorships and several other houses, which lifted their spirits around what the midterms offered. But as opposed to pushing forward, the moderates had secret negotiations with the Republicans and decided, I think there were 2 or 3 at first, and decided that they would break the vote or break the unity between their party and go forth and cut this deal. And again, claiming, of course, that the cuts for public assistance, which I just read, impact, and there's another story, that impact 1 out of every 8 families gets some kind of public assistance. So this is something this is how households keep going. And this is what the economy is, which they don't like to talk about. It's like you can't survive in this country without some form of subsidies for food and other things. But yet it's supposed to be a thriving, healthy economy that benefits certain people. And then the people who get targeted, of course, are the poor people, the working class people who get their subsidies taken away. So all that supposedly played in to the Democrats caving. But yeah, that's just a start.
Yeah.
I mean, what was going to be what was the deal exact? I'm trying to figure out what did Democrats achieve? Like, what did they win? Like, what was
the claim is that
they'll
vote. Yeah, they'll vote later on whether or not they're going to expand the subsidy. Like, literally, what they got for this was a quote unquote promise that they would circle back to the thing that caused them to say no to begin with.
Mm-hmm. And they think a handwritten IOU for a vote. I think that's what they got.
But they're making, but these niggas are liars. You understand? Like, not to say that previous Republicans or Democrats were, reliable deal makers, but no, these specific ones, there's no credibility there, right? And now the Democrats themselves make themselves less credible because it's like, I'm sorry, you thought you could negotiate with flagrant falsehood spreaders? You know what I'm saying? Like, a promise to vote later does what exactly for people that are shopping on the healthcare exchange right now and looking at premiums that are, 4 figures monthly, which is insane. I was looking at some of these stories, people are posting their anecdotal testimonies about looking for healthcare insurance, and their premiums are doubling, tripling. Like, people are looking at $1,000 plus premiums monthly. This is on top of housing. This is on top of food. This is on top of transportation. This is on top of a shrinking jobs economy. It's like, clearly Trump and the GOP are trying to break working people in this country, like literally trying to break us. But to what end? Like, what happens when you break? Because even with the government potentially reopening, the new work requirements to receive SNAP are very onerous. Like, even when the money gets restored, a lot of people are going to get put off a SNAP anyway, because the work requirements now are
that's right. They were changing them anyway. So it was about to be a whole disaster.
Yeah. And this is all on top of student loans, as Kai's pointing out.
Oh, right. Yes.
Right. And I like this, what Chidimma said. They waited until after the elections. It's all a farce.
Yes, exactly.
So they definitely, I agree, Chidimma. They definitely waited like, we won some more seats. Let's do it now, because it's too late for anybody to do anything about.
Yeah, hope that people will forget by the midterms.
Yeah,
and that's the other. I mean, they got a promise on a vote which they were going to lose anyway, even when the vote takes place. So even if the Republicans allow the vote, the Republicans are so dead set against extending any support for the health benefits that they're going to vote no anyway. And so they think their big victory is maybe getting them on record of saying they voted no as health premiums go up. But that's their best case scenario. And so they've shown themselves to, like you said, to not be able to negotiate, to cave, even though polls show that they were winning the argument, and to not to be able to extract any demands that are reasonable or rational. And the Republicans just win again, right? So that's all that you waited all this time, put people through this misery only to give up, as opposed to making people stick to their guns, fighting it out. Now the government will reopen and Trump will just basically go pass other things in both the Senate and House, in which he doesn't need a Democratic vote for anyway, because they have a majority in both the Senate and the House. And so now the government's reopened. It's no longer just force of executive order. So this guy will continue to basically burn everything in his path for, again, I guess, constituents that he doesn't consider to be his, but I think a lot of those constituents are. So this is one of those ideas of like, they're going to kick all the poor and working class people off of these benefits, but a lot of those are your white MAGA people. And so, and then the other question is, will there be sufficient enough outrage as this continues to happen for those who go to voting or the electorate to show themselves in terms of the midterms? So it's a really weird scenario to me where the Republicans think it's an instant win to kick off 40 million people off of government benefits, basically. And they've already been saying, I think this is one reason why the Democrats cave too, is they've been already saying that the lack of people receiving the benefits for this time period, or the lack of people being scared of not receiving them, started to mean less shopping, right? So less shopping, the markets are starting, or the capitalist industries are starting to balk. I think that's also one reason, more than caring about poor people, why the Democrats caved. Because I think in certain industries were saying that money, that basically that socialist type of money comes right back to us. So we want that money back again. So I think a lot of that is wrapped up in there. But yeah, it's this to destroy on two ends, destroying both the healthcare for working class people, and again, the way in which 1 out of 8 families survive. I'm not sure what the win is for the Republicans or at the stage in terms of doing this. Except for an ideological victory, right? Except for it's the idea, because some people they don't care, right? There's enough folks that just don't care about that stuff. They care about the ideological victory of saying, oh, the government shouldn't support people, kind of thing. At least not working class or poor people.
Yeah. No, this is a really bad look. I mean, I think it is interesting, all the things you said, right? I do think that like markets being threatened is definitely a big part of it, right? Because the donors are the exact same for the Democrats and Republicans. So the same people who would have been putting pressure on the Republicans to open back up the government are the same people who would be putting pressure on the Democrats, not working class people, mind you, but the people who own the economy. And but I think it's interesting just on multiple levels, right? Like we always see this, right? There's always this contingent of Democrats who are allowed to or able to, right, buck whatever trend, the Democrats are supposedly trying to kind of initiate and vote with Republicans, right? So it's always fascinating to me, right? Because like Democrats clearly show that they have no party discipline the way we would think about it. Although I do think this is a type of party discipline. It's just internal.
The state don't like Evan.
They always be
always, but he
throttling.
is right. But he is right, and I also even suspect at times when you have like these outlier Democrats who vote no on a thing that everybody should have voted no on. I think it's like decided, like, all right, y'all vote no so that we can keep up this like this idea that like there's still people fighting the good fight, and it's all horseshit. Like the whole thing drives me nuts, to be honest. I just can't. Like this idea that we just gonna let people starve, we're gonna let people live outside, winters come in, like we're gonna just keep bombing people, we're gonna keep killing people on other sides of the world, we're gonna let walls get built in places where there were no walls before. Like it's just all the things.
The one contingent of working class people that I know are looking forward to the government reopening are, of course, the furloughed government workers. I think it's like 1 million government employees who've been going without paychecks for 6 weeks, coming, a long time. And a lot of people are really, really struggling and suffering as a result of not getting paychecks. They have designated food banks on particular days in this area for government employees specifically. And you see these Black women in particular, usually they are heads of household. And this one lady I saw, she said, I've never had a problem paying my bills. So for me to be standing in this food line is really sort of, a dystopian experience for her. So I'm glad that the government's going to be reopening for the government workers. But if you look at some of the indicators around the economy, you guys, it's not looking cute for the U.S. economy right now, because, for example, the government shutdown had people not being able to pay their mortgages and repay their car notes and such. So the banks claim, or maybe not outwardly, but we've seen some movement from banks that indicate that they are a little tight on liquidity. There's something called the Federal Reserve repo market. Maybe I hope I'm saying that correct, but a lot of the big banks have been going to these markets that the government allows banks to retrieve billions and billions of dollars of actual cash for terms that I'm not able to understand. That they're doing mortgage-backed securities and all this shit. I said, oh, it's the Big Short coming back, round 2. So there's a lot of pressures pressure points on the economy that the government shutdown was helping to exacerbate. So in addition to wanting to re-stimulate consumer activity again, just basic repayment of bank loans, and the tightening of that, it was already putting some stress on the economy. So stuff is not looking cute here overall, period.
Right. And I do wonder how much, us getting into the holiday season, this is like a major travel time in this country. This is, time for folks to start shopping for the holidays, Black Friday sale, like all these things. People have to wonder, like, how much does all of this also play into it? Because no matter what, they need regular people to be consumers. Like, for as much as they just like, whatever, y'all survive off nothing, they still want you to go out and shop. They still want you to go out and travel. They still want you to go to the movies. Like, all these things, they still expect you to participate in this system as if, they didn't just fuck you over for the past however many weeks. Like, I don't know if there's any other words to use. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild.
It doesn't make sense to me though, Renee, because it's like, this is a consumer driven economy, right? Consumer in goods and services and all that. But like, America, we don't make things here. We buy things here, and people, provide services here. But it's like, if you're killing a consumer, if you're raking people over the coals, that they're paying 50% of their monthly income towards housing alone, and the price of food continues to go up, and now healthcare, God bless everybody, like, for all my people that's been out here with no insurance, you know what I'm saying, we seen the long game, you know what I'm saying, this shit is a scam. But anyway, but for people that do pay for their health insurance every month, god damn, like, what is left for folks at the end of the month to do any sort of disposable income spending, to participate in the consumerism of the economy? Like, no one's going to have any additional money to do so.
That's where credit comes in.
Ooh.
There you go. There you go.
So what do you do? Like, what have we always done during these times? Like, they extend, like, there's more credit. You spend, you still get to spend, but now you owe. You get to spend, but now you owe. You get to spend, but now you. So it's that loop that they keep us on by opening up again to, like, and people use credit cards because, again, we are so propagandized to think that we also need to keep spending. Like, somehow the world has stopped if we don't spend in general. And I think that is the other valve that they want to keep open, with the possibilities of, like, keeping the economy going. But I also feel like, again, for all the reasons that the moderates tried to offer, again, it's like, what have you just gotten out of this that makes any sense whatsoever after this long period of time in which keeping the government closed was seen to be working to a certain advantage, at the very least, calling out what was taking place. Now you've lost that advantage, right? And so maybe the economy will come back a little bit, which will cost any credibility that you have, that you know how to negotiate or make things happen. So I just don't see what they're getting out of it. I wanted to also just go, like, talking a little bit more about SNAP. So even as they claimed, again, the Democrats, that by opening up the government, the Republicans will now play fair and restore full SNAP benefits, because this is a hill the Republicans want to die on or want to take down. They still are doing things to make sure that the SNAP benefits are slowly but surely, or maybe not even slowly, taken away. So it says the Trump administration has instructed states that they must immediately undo steps that were taken to provide full SNAP benefits to low-income Americans, saying states were unauthorized. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, in a late-night Saturday memo obtained by CBS News, also threatened to impose financial penalties on states that did not comply with the government's new orders. To the extent states sent full SNAP benefit files for November 2025, this was unauthorized, said Patrick Penn, Deputy Undersecretary of Agriculture. Accordingly, states must immediately undo any steps taken to issue full SNAP benefits for November 2025. The Trump administration initially said last month that it would not fund supplemental nutritional assistance program benefits for November because of the ongoing government shutdown. The twists in turn since have exacerbated uncertainty for the nearly 1 in 8 Americans who receive monthly SNAP benefits to spend at grocery stores and farmers markets. On Friday, some states began issuing full monthly SNAP benefits to people a day after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to provide full funds. Massachusetts, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey were among the states that began doing that. It says, but Friday night, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson temporarily paused the judicial order to give an appeals court in Boston time to decide whether to issue a more lasting halt. Jackson acted because she handles emergency matters for Massachusetts. Jackson's move will also keep on hold a ruling late Sunday night from the Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals that let Rhode Island judges order stand that directs the Trump administration to fully fund this month's SNAP benefits. And so they're trying to make sure that these SNAP benefits are not fully given out. The Supreme Court has decided to stay the orders that said that they should, giving the courts more time to offer a full decision. But I think there had to be another workaround besides the way in which she did it, which again keeps the Trump administration's ability to not fully fund in place. So there's a whole lot that's going on with people who, again, are using these benefits. Again, 1 out of 8 families using these benefits as for survival. Like, you know what I mean? So there's a lot going on that's jeopardizing people's ability to feed themselves, feed their families. We saw over the weekend, some of these may or may not go down, but food lines or soup kitchens, as they call them, around the block, because people were looking now for other ways in which they can feed themselves and feed their families.
I mean, the doubling down on like now give the money back after you've already given it to families so they can go eat is that's some like ghoulish, wild ass, like, I read that article because at first I was like, what the hell is Ketanji Jack, like, what is she doing? Right. And then her whole, like, we're trying to give time for them to extend it so that it's not a temporary. So all these decisions are always so effing confusing because they make these decisions and the decision is only temporary. Like, the decision is only until the courts can play out whatever they're playing out. But none of that ever makes sense if you don't read the entire article, which is, of course, what they bank on people doing. But also this idea that, like, you fed people, but now, like, undo it. So now you're gonna actually take the money out of people's accounts. And what if they've already gone to the supermarket, right? Like, my understanding, because this was what happened in New Jersey, is one of these states where they, once the court said you have to make the payment, somebody was like waiting with their finger on the button because the minute the decision came out, they were like, go. And everybody got their money, you know what I mean? And it went out. And so, like, sometimes I wonder, like, y'all, these people are playing with people's actual lives, right? Like actual ability to live, breathe, and eat. And I always wondered to myself, like, who do they think is going to do all the things if they kill off all the working people by failure to feed them, failure to allow them to, live inside? Like, what happens when that, like, who's going to clean your house and who's going to cut your grass and who's going to do all those things when you kill off all the working people? I don't understand what the plan is that they have going here.
It's going to be AI. AI is going to do it.
Oh, so they've been watching all the movies because
it's not ready though, because it's stupid. AI
is not doing none of that stuff. Right.
I don't know. Like, I remember on Twitter, this was years ago. I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, but there was a historian that I was following who was doing some research, I think in Carolina. I can't remember if it was North or South Carolina. This was either in the 40s or 50s, where white families were trying to petition their politicians to pass a law compelling Black women to work as domestics in their homes because these Black women obviously did not want to work for these white families for these terrible wages. So the white people were trying to make a law to try to make Black women or Black people come and work in their houses. And that's what I think these MAGA folks think is going to happen, at least the elite ones. I think they really think that they're going to re-enslave Black folks in some way. Hit everybody with a bunch of bullshit charges. Well, you don't have to go to the penitentiary or go to the work camps if you agree to come to the governor's mansion and cut the grass or whatever the arrangement is. Some shit that they're already doing now. But I'm wondering the same thing. Like, how is this sustainable? We buy things in this country. This is a consumer driven economy. You're not making it so that people will have enough money to literally buy the shit that keeps America humming. And even for the service portion of the economy, I don't know. I guess they think, I don't know what they think, y'all. Like, it's very confusing. But obviously Trump is here to sow chaos, because why else would you tell states to withdraw the money or to take the money back away from SNAP recipients when, what was it, 2 weeks ago, he was telling states that if they did fund the program, they would not be reimbursed through the federal government. So which is it? If states are putting up their own money, which I know some states did. I know Governor Cantaloupe had authorized $67 million, which was a big jump in his $10 million ask, but Westmore threw down $67 million of Maryland's money. That wasn't federal money. So the whole intention is to make the whole process chaotic, right? And to make states and people that are in need in receiving SNAP benefits, just to put them in a constant sense of stress and disarray.
I also think the thing that y'all mentioned before with all the new so-called work requirements is the other way in which they, again, an indentured servitude type of situation where people are forced to do certain types of labor in order to receive even some small amount of benefits, right? So that could include cutting the grass, mowing the lawn, working in people's houses. You create this sub category of workers which are akin to what workers from other countries used to do and get underpaid for. But now you're going to create, as they remodel the economy, if you're kicking out certain classes or groups of people, who's going to replace those folks? The people who get SNAP, the people who are poor, the people who now they're being told that in order to receive these things, they have to have certain types of work or certain types of jobs. And so this may be a revving up of a certain way in which they create a kind of a new underground economy or a new economy that supposedly they'll be able to count them as part of the job force. So then they'll get to say that unemployment is down. Most people who are, again, propagandized to be that poor people are deserving of being poor because they may put themselves in that situation, see work requirements on these kind of benefits as good things. So there won't be any uproar from the general public about this sounds crazy. They'll be like, oh no, well, if you receive these government benefits, well, of course you should be working in such and such and such, because otherwise you're lazy and shiftless. So I see a way in which again, whether or not this is going to work is something else. But because these things are ideologically driven and they're not necessarily driven strictly by even capitalist economic sort of dogmatic tendencies, it's more that we want these so-called foreigners out. We'll accept the poor people, including the Black and browns that are already here, but they have to do their part. And even, again, as we've talked about before, even if SNAP doesn't even, the majority of SNAP is not those folks that are not Black and brown people, they don't give a fuck, because ideologically speaking, that's what they're told. And so since they don't care about actual numbers, for them, in their mind, it is, oh, we're making these lazy folks work who wouldn't work before. So I think I have to believe that part of this is, in some ways, a retooling or resetting of the economy, particularly around for poor people. Because I agree, otherwise, most of this on its face, this doesn't work. And I think already we've seen how the economy is going down and people are suffering and will continue to, because this isn't a real way in which you would run even any economic order would would fall flat on his face with this kind of thing happening. But the rich will remain rich. So that's the other most important thing. But you know who can figure this all out for us? No other than the Air Doctor.
You know it. Wait, what did you mean?
I had you
Come on,
back.
man.
I know you got this.
Can be disrespectful sometimes.
Sometimes.
Now, what was y'all talking about?
Oh, well, okay.
So y'all see, so you took care of it. No double. See, what we doing is, you remember, Kim, you kept talking about having a phone view.
Yes, sir.
So we have that now. So people are watching us on a phone are getting a different view, and then you got people watching on those computers are getting another view. So as you see him come out, in case you didn't read the screen, you hit that little that phone button at the bottom, and you won't see the double screens. And you won't hear
I did that now.
sound.
Yeah. I figured it out and fixed it.
Nice. So we all on the same page. That's good to know.
So many people are watching. Are we seeing a boost in viewership?
It went to 320, dropped down to 280. It's the numbers are kind of wild right now.
It happened. It was as high as 340. Then it went to 240. Now it's back up to 283.
Yeah. So
I don't know. The math ain't mathing.
People got to work. That's what happened.
It can't drop that fast, though. The math ain't mathing.
Listen, you hit 9 o'clock. People went to work.
Yeah. People are going to work.
What about everybody? It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. What's up, Central, Mountain, Pacific? Y'all just waking up.
Yeah, that is true. We do forget about other people. What was I gonna say? Oh, so y'all still gonna get to your boy with his Beijing dripping?
Oh,
yeah. You know, that Jing is dripping. Yeah, definitely get to that too. That is a story about them getting pardoned.
We got to do that one in the Supreme Court story on gay marriage. We'll talk about that one.
Okay, good. I like it. We got some direction. We got some order coming up. Other than that, I guess it's time for a break. So let's go ahead and take a quick break and come back right here on No Other Than a Remix Morning Show. Let's go. It's time for a remix on a remix.
I wanted this to be special, something more than any other feeling that you felt before. Pushing through the doors, I see girls having a good time. I might say a rhyme, old school, new school, no school rules. But other than that, everything is cool. I see guys and girls dancing, doing the new dances. That's a hit while I'm over here romancing. You ain't shit, there's no need to curse. Ask me who she is and let me tell you first. Slow down, be cool, and don't act ill. I came to have a good time, party and chill with you. And don't worry, sweetheart, I'm still with you. And after we leave, we will continue with our plans. My plans are made to be broken, smoking. I'm not joking. Try to diss me and I'll give you a token. Cause I'm the type of brother that can't be stopped. And no matter what, I'm gonna now my mind say
yeah. All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to the year to God, 1975. That's right. The name of that song is God Made Me Funky by the Headhunters off the album Survival of the Fittest. Y'all might have heard that off Mobb Deep album. Then let me make you a trip to 1988 with my man Doug E. Fresh off the album The World's Greatest Entertainer. The name of that song is Keep Rising to the Top. Yes, that is your remix on the remix. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. Donate where? blkliberationmedia.org. Thank you for your support. We are demonetized as a channel, and that support will help us to continue to come here. All right, with that said, let's get back to the crew. You know how we do. God made me funky.
That was great.
That was a nice mix.
That was very good.
It. I like it when the younger fellas and gals say they appreciate that mix. You know.
No, I mean, listen, I'm not one to to give you false compliments. You know, you're a dope DJ. That is something that you do excellently. I've said it on air. I've said it to you in person. The mixes are dope. The pronunciation.
I feel like Kamal just said a whole lot without saying anything.
Not at all. I mean, the fact that let me tell you how many years I've been going through dealing with this guy on the screen. And whenever somebody else is getting props, him and another guy could not stand it. They could not take it when I was getting props. But especially the other guy. I ain't even gonna name no names, but let a motherfucker get props publicly. They like,
it just was too long. It was just too long.
Paul.
Just say he's an eye DJ. Just keep it moving. I was like, all right.
I love that we have a BLM Voldemort, like a he should not be named type of person connected to the channel. It's fucking hilarious.
But come back Thursday at 11 o'clock and you will see a longer mix. As Kamal just said, longer. So come back and check that out. It's going to be dope.
Crazy.
Who's that? Who in the picture? Who's that in the picture?
That's me and DJ Kool Herc.
Yeah, I know who you are.
The Godfather of hip hop. Come on, man.
No, I didn't recognize.
No, you better recognize. I'm doing a hip hop history month, so you'll hear a history of hip hop within music. So
is it again hip hop history month? I feel like every other month now is another month in which they're claiming it's a hip hop month. Is this too many goddamn months for hip hop?
Well, R&B need to step their game up. Shit.
I know we need a Sam Cooke week. I've been listening to a lot of Sam Cooke recently.
Like you never go to the barbershops and hear them debating who's the top 5 R&B singers, right? You always hear hip hop. We need to start making those debates.
I think hip hop encourages that kind of debate though, like battle raps and everything like that. Who's the best?
Yeah, but like if we was to do,
there's no battle.
If we was to do the verses helped out a little bit, showing the R&B putting each other together. So I'm thinking if we do genres, decades like the 80s, the 90s, we can get the top 5, just like we do in hip hop. Like 80s is Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, KRS One, LL Cool J, Run DMC. While you got 90s is Nas, Andre 3000, and the whole different slew of top 5. So if you do about a decades, I think that'd be dope because Sade got to be in the 80s. Anyway, that's enough.
Paul is about to get kicked out the chat. B. Who's Paul? Paul Hurdle.
Paul Hurdle is he's a talkative guy. You know, I mean,
he's just blast. Sam Cooke is dope, but Otis made the best version of a change is going to come. You know what, Paul? You might get a timeout for that.
Don't time him out for his opinion.
But you might get a timeout for that. Don't ever.
Paul is very vocal. Let Paul live. All right, get back to some news, man. Stop playing.
Oh. How y'all doing? Go ahead, Kim. Do it. You do it well.
Then we continue through the venue. Didn't pretend to be nothing but Kim me. As a brother extended out his hand to me and asked me what I rock the microphone. It just gave me a pound and I said shalom. Sharp as a harp played by a musician. My body tone is like a throne where Calvin Klein obsession cologne. Yeah, doctor, come in.
And Kamal was in the Audi, and Evan and Renee riding with me. See, we the type of people that can't be stopped, and no matter what, we're gonna
keep rising to the top.
Well, my people say, give it all you got. Come on.
Ain't no half stepping. Y'all, Dougie Fresh, living legend. Please, when y'all see Dougie, please give him his flowers in person and let him know that Dougie Fresh is still probably one of the greatest to rock a mic out here.
Dougie is still alive?
Take him off the screen here, doctor. Get him off. Nigga, Dougie Fresh look better than you out here. What is you talking about? Is he still alive? Nigga, are you still
That was humor. I knew Dougie Fresh was alive. That was just some humor.
Dougie also still does a legit live show, just for the record. Just saying.
He does. Yes, he does. Moisturized, shining, glowing, beautiful. Yes. Shout out to Doug E. Fresh. Shout out to the remixers. Thank you all for being here with us. It's the Tuesday edition. We've got Renee, Kamal, E Money, aka Evan, KB, ED. Sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway.
A lot of initials.
Yo, I was trying to find this clip and I thought I had saved it and I can't find it, but fuck it. But it was Jonathan Greenblatt talking about how it's such an absurd notion that American police go to Israel and train with the IDF forces. That is a lie. I said, is it? Anyway, I was trying to find a clip, but anyway.
No, did he really say that?
He did, girl.
It's wild.
That's a wild ass thing to say, like, out loud. They just be saying shit, yo. Like, wait, stop. They just be saying shit. They just be like, yo, look outside. The sky's purple. They just be saying shit.
Find that shit come out. I'm tired. I don't think I made it up in my brain. I thought because I said, wait.
Now, who said it? Who said it?
Greenblatt.
From the ADL.
Probably while he was carrying on about Mom Donnie. On they ADL Mom Donnie watch. They like these people are so out of their gourd, yo. Like what's wrong with them?
Why the whole time this whole Mom Donnie thing, y'all? You guys remember when Eddie Murphy was on Saturday Night Live and the time that Jesse Jackson y'all? I'm not trying to be offensive because I don't really know if it is offensive, but if it is, you can tell me and I apologize in advance. But when Jesse Jackson called New York Hymie Town back in the 80s, and then Eddie Murphy
was one of the funniest skits ever.
So, for those of y'all that don't know, Eddie Murphy, when he was on Saturday Night Live, brilliant. But he did a song as Jesse Jackson called Hymie Town. Don't let me down. Hymie Town. So anyway, when Mom Donnie got elected and I see all the right wingers losing their brains, about 30% of Jews voted for Mom Donnie. I said, look at Hymie Town. The Hymies came through for but I'm sorry. I don't know if that's offensive. Is that really offensive? Or is that some fake offensive shit?
No, I think you can't say that. I don't think you can do that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If I'm not mistaken.
But you know what? I'm hush because I don't know. Because and you know what? I'm gonna be quiet. But my intention is not to be offensive. I've never known people to be harmed by being called Hymie. But
you just said it again. I just said you can't say it. You said it again.
But Hymie is a name.
My God.
It's a name. It is a first name, right? I'm not making that up, right?
You are not making that up. Jaime is a first name. It 100% is.
So that's like, when people talk about our people and be like, Tyrone and Keisha, what's the difference between that and Jaime? But I'm gonna stop talking.
You made me snort.
Come on,
let's play that clip.
Let me play this clip, Kim. I found this is the closest thing I could find is somebody's making fun of the fact that he did in one sentence say that they were not training, and then 2 seconds later said they were.
Has brought law enforcement.
So I'm gonna try to start it.
National Police, and I'm proud of that. And the NYPD has an
run that back.
intelligence unit in Israel that shares information, and I'm proud of that.
The idea that the ADL has taken any police to train with the IOF is a complete lie. On the other hand, we have taken them there to train and learn from them, and I'm proud of that. See, I thought I was going to have to pull this up where it says ADL regularly brings top U.S. law enforcement officers, including police chiefs, as well as Homeland Security and Border Patrol, ICE executives to Israel for training with the Israeli police and army, but it turns out I really didn't need to because he fucking admits it seconds after he says it's not true. You guys can tell me if I'm crazy or not. Did I not just hear him, Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the ADL, say, we don't take police who train with the IOF, only to turn around 5 seconds later and say, yes, we do take them, and I'm very proud of that.
Either the ADL or any American organization is bringing NYPD or any law enforcement or Ferguson Police or any law enforcement agency to train with the IDF is a lie. It is a fiction. It is a complete contrivance.
2 seconds later.
Now, ADL has brought law enforcement to learn from, to work with the Israel National Police, and I'm proud of that. And the NYPD has an intelligence unit in Israel that shares information, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Blakely. That's my girl. She's so funny, yo. She cracks me up. Go Blakely. She's hysterical. But also, like, is anyone surprised that he would say, and to him, he said two different things. That's the wild part. Like the wild part of all of this is in his head, them sending people to train and them sending people to work with and learn from are two different things. Yo, the words are doing a lot of work. They're doing a lot of work. That's wild.
It's kind of hard for me to, because these people lie so much that I'm just like,
I'm sorry. Who brought this up? Yeah, Doc, can you just wait until an appropriate time, then bring it up at the end of the segment? Oh my God.
If we weren't already demonetized, you know what I'm saying? Like, this type of stuff that would push us over the edge.
But remember, it was Eddie Murphy that did it, not us.
That's right. But Eddie, did he get in trouble for that?
No, because everybody saw it as a parody of making fun of the trouble that Jesse Jackson got into.
Right? No, Jesse
got into trouble. Jesse got into trouble. Yes, Jesse got into trouble for that.
Jesse got into trouble.
And I think it was a hot mic situation. Like he didn't say it. Like I can't remember. Like did he say it at a press conference or was it a hot mic situation?
I want to say it was. I think he said it with intention, but I don't remember because I remember Eddie in the skit in the parody. He was like, I've got in trouble for calling the group of people Hammers and referring to New York as Hammer Town. I know that kind of talk isn't kosher. But the song is the killer. Side note, Eddie Murphy made another great song on Saturday Night Live. It was called Kill the White People. And
buy my record first. But buy my record first.
My record first. A jam. The man had talent beyond.
And he did it like at some workers' retreat or something like that. And all the white people slowly started getting up and leaving. It was hilarious.
I just want everybody to note that if you come back here tomorrow and there's no more Black Liberation Media, you can mark 9/11 a.m. on Tuesday.
11/11.
I'm sorry, we're just recounting the problematic comedic sketches of the 1980s.
Eddie Murphy was funny as hell on Saturday Night Live. Just
beyond.
All right, so were you, Evan? You were about to say something about the ADL dude.
Oh, I mean, all I'm saying is that these people lie like they breathe. So I don't know, like just to Renee's point, like maybe he's thinking of those as different things, or maybe he's just like, I have to simultaneously deny this thing while also admitting to the reality of like, it's just like a double kind of speak that they do. But I don't think that at any point he's confused that his goal is to mislead people as like the truth and like facts around that relationship, right? So, and sorry.
Where do you think this is coming from? Where do you think this is coming from, Evan, and chat and group? Like why tell this lie right now? Like what is the point of putting this bit of misinformation out to try to sort of spin, right? Because I don't even think this has ever been questioned. I don't even think this has ever even been it's been controversial, obviously, to people on our side of the spectrum, but for regular mainstream people who want more police in the community, I don't think when they've heard about their local police department going to train over in Israel or doing whatever jointly with Israeli forces, most people don't question it, right? So I don't think this is controversial amongst the masses. So what is the point of him trying to separate the connection and the relationship and the nature of the relationship between Israeli forces and American policing?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Evan. I can hold it.
I was just gonna say that, like, first off, to me, like, Greenblatt is the same man who was months ago, or maybe even years ago, in regards to the genocide in Gaza, talking about how TikTok was a major issue, right? Because they were losing the propaganda war.
Mm-hmm.
The ADL is a central piece of the Zionist propaganda that we kind of swim in, that convinces people that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East or in West Asia, that they're a core partner with the United States, blah, 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 blah. All of those things, right? The ADL is like part and parcel of like continuing that propaganda. And I would say that like these responses, him kind of freaking out about TikTok, him making these types of comments that seem to not make sense or seem to be kind of contradictory, is all a part of them realizing that they've lost a narrative war and they're trying to get it back, right? Mamdani is also a part of that, right? And shout out to Ali Abu Nima from the Electric Intifada. Shout out to all of them. Ali had like a really, really great, I think, breakdown of, and a really balanced breakdown of Mamdani, right? All the things he's doing that, you know, are, you know, legitimate, right? All the things, the kind of backtracking or concessions he's already made, right? That we should kind of be aware of, but also highlighting the way in which for hardcore Zionist, or for Zionists, liberal to hardcore in New York and in Israel, right? Not only are they more clear about what he's actually saying, right? So he pulled up, at one point he pulls up like, I think it's an Israeli Times article where they're very clear that like Mamdani has made points around Zionism, right? But not attack Jewish people broadly speaking, right? Like the Israeli Times was very clear on that, right? In a way that the New York Times has to kind of obfuscate in order to kind of continue to do what they do, right? So we all know, like to your point, Kim, it is very clear there's already so much research and so much knowledge around the ways in which our U.S. police forces are intertwined with Israeli police forces, right? Or Israeli occupation forces from, I know I've had this up for a while now, Santifa's Lounge, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. In Baltimore, the police train with Israel through the Deadly Exchange program. There are very clear examples of what they have learned from Israel, such as always keeping their lights up on blocks, right? So, and, you know, of course, BAP does a lot of work around the Deadly Exchange program, also trying to stop the 1033 program, which is a related program around decommissioned military equipment coming to the United States and the United States police forces. But just to answer your question, Kim, right, like, for me, all of this is a response to them realizing they've lost the narrative war, right? And that goes hand in hand with the type of iron fist, right? Like the velvet glove is not working right anymore. So like the iron fist is now happening in these police, these cop cities, right? These federal occupations, right? This kind of thought police element that we're dealing with, right? With these executive orders, like all of that, I think is a part of this. And Greenblatt is just playing his role, right? And it may seem, you know, contradictory or crazy to us to listen, but if you put it in that context, that is him struggling to kind of like maintain this narrative, I think.
And I'll just add to that, you know, there's a satellite NYPD precinct in Tel Aviv, right? And so I'll push back only a little to say, I don't know that everybody knows that U.S. police trains in Israel, right? I don't know that that's as like commonplace knowledge as we'd like to believe it is, despite how like widely it happens. And it's in part because cities intentionally do the work to hide that information, right? Like there was a person trying to get hold of why the Newark Police Department receive federal funding with regard to something to do with going to Israel, and they were blocked. Like the information was refused. They would not provide the information for why the Newark Police Department was taking money from the federal government for something with Israel. So there's also an intentional effort being made to pretend like these things are not actually happen. It's not as bad as people think. And part of the fear with Greenblatt ADL for as, you know, sometimes I'm not 100% on board with like there's some things that Mamdani is doing that's making me like side eye him, right? Mm-hmm. But one of the big concerns that they have is that he might actually impact these things, right? And if they don't get ahead of him coming into office and say, no, this is not happening. This is not what they're like, you know, this is all made up. Then they're going to lose footing completely if he decides to do something, especially with regard to this outpost that they have in Tel Aviv, which I've said out loud multiple times. Like, I don't even think I've heard him say anything out loud about it, but why is that still existing? Like, why is that a thing? Right. And so, you know, I agree with everything everyone's saying, but I also think there's a piece of this that like they're fairly certain that the general public is not always aware that there's this relationship happening between the Israeli forces and the US police, and they're trying to get ahead of it so that when this pushback comes, he can say, well, I already told y'all that they weren't training out there. They were just going for advice.
Somehow.
No, I think it's a good point, Renee. I would say that like awareness of that relationship has increased since 2020 and since the genocide started. But you're probably right? Like in the sense of like, if we're talking about like the masses of people, I don't know that that's like an awareness that the masses of people have at this particular.
Because people still are surprised when I say it. People are still like, when I tell them about the Gilly program, like they're still like, wait, what? When I tell them there's an outpost in Tel Aviv, they're like, wait, what? Like people are still surprised when I say it. So, you know, listen,
that's right.
I don't talk to that many people. So this is not to say, but I'm always like, I always forget that the intention is for people not to know, right? Like the intention is for this not to be like broadly widespread information. And so that's part of what we have to do here, right? Is to make sure we're always echoing that information so people can be aware.
Yeah. And very quickly too, like so I looked at it seems like he was on a podcast of some kind too. And so these are like talking points. Some of these were talking points that maybe got crisscrossed. I'm not sure if I can understand why on one sentence you would deny it, and then in the other you basically admit to the fact that all of this is happening. And as Renee said, all this has been happening for decades. I mean, not only does and as everybody's noted, like this propaganda machine that Israel continually takes politicians to Israel for free trips. It goes and makes partnerships with churches, particularly Black churches, to do trips to Israel, all in an attempt to normalize Israel and to make any critique or criticism of Israel in and on its face sound as if it's anti-Semitism. And again, to make Israel look like it's part of a U.S. partnership on quote unquote good policing or quote unquote good strategies for stopping criminality, where the more insidious version of it or the more accurate version of it is that they're training in similar tactics and strategies around repressing and oppressing large groups of populations. In Israel's case, the outright genocide and killing of Palestinians to take their land. In the case of the United States, the continual oppression, particularly of Black and brown and poor communities. Again, like at one point, the Atlanta, I think it was a deputy chief, went over to Israel and basically gave a glowing report of the ways in which the Israeli, the police and the IDF surveil the larger population, came back to Atlanta and said, we need that here. And installed all of the different camera systems that they have based on the Israeli system, which makes Atlanta the most surveilled city in the world outside of 5 cities in China, all based on what they learned when they took trips to Israel. So the idea that this stuff is not happening seems on its face to be ridiculous. And then quickly on a Madani point, I think there are, again, if Madani is to be held to their word on their long-term political views around Israel and Israel being an oppressive and apartheid state, there are some things that he doesn't need either the permission of New York State or even City Council to do. And day one, he could pull out that New York City precinct substation from Israel, which makes no sense. He can stop any joint training activities between the United States or between New York City and Israel. There are certain bonds that New York City buys that are Israel-backed bonds or Israel bonds that he could immediately, through appointees, make sure that New York City, in terms of its retirement funds, don't participate in anything that Israel puts out. So there are things that he can do to show that he is serious about these particular politics, that he can't even try to say, oh, I need somebody else's support to get this done. So at the very least, there are things that people who are trying to hold him accountable for making sure that other cities can do similar things, because it's in their control of the mayor, and there's pressure points to do. It's very important to not only watch Madani, but to make through organizing efforts to make a list of those simple things that this person can do right off the bat, if they're trying to show that they're not going to be basically doing the bidding of Zionists who are committing genocide.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he could do that. And I hope he does. And I'm not optimistic given the way that he is held on to the former police commissioner, I believe, who's super Zionist, who comes from a very wealthy Zionist family, who was, I think, actively involved in the type of what they call it, mosque raking, or essentially
can I just say her family gave like $1.3 million to Cuomo because she's part of the Tisch family, which is NYU, and they've got big money, and they're on the list of families that gave money to Cuomo to beat Mamdani. So I'm like, what are we doing? And when they asked him, sorry to cut you off, Evan, but this drove me crazy. When they asked him, he was like, well, I'm going to be mayor, so she has to do what I tell her to do. And I was like, that feels real like I don't know. But okay, like if that's what you think, bro, cool.
This is the type of stuff, man, because that sounds like you don't know what you're actually getting yourself into. That sounds like
no. You're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
It sounds like he knows exactly what he's getting into.
That's the side. That's why he gets the side.
He's deciding. He's making decisions in his world or his mind. He's making these calculated decisions so that he can be cool with the governor who will help him on his other agenda points. But he knows. I mean, he's the mayor, right? He can easily. I'm going to fire her day one. I'm going to bring in my own police chief, as most mayors do when they're not trying to be these So he's purposely playing these games, or playing this game in particular with this one. So he knows exactly what he is what he's doing. So So I just want to go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good point. And I mean, I think that this is why we always have like this kind of side eye with people who describe themselves, not how other people describe them. Mamdani has always described himself as a democratic socialist, right? Not a socialist. And these types of concessions that people like him make, right, always, give us pause for concern, right? This is why Black Alliance for Peace says no compromise, no retreat, right? That's not just a slogan. Like, it's an understanding of the way in which neoliberal capitalist politicians, right, give us crumbs, right, and continue. They cannot be bargained with. They cannot be like nothing that he's doing is going to satiate the kind of rabid Zionist military industrial complex intelligence apparatus people that he's keeping and that already exist in New York, right? Like, nothing he's doing is going to satiate those people. So just go off. Just do your govern and wield power in the way that people who voted for you want you to do, right? But he's not going to, right? And I think they're gonna, and then the right will eventually, unfortunately, I think, be stronger because of it, right? Because they will take advantage of his.
I think the right that he's talking about isn't the Republican right. It is the Democratic right? It is the Democrats who are the ones who will be on the right, trying to shut down the things that he claims that he wants to do.
Right.
And I right here, we have a story. I think this has been floating around that the governor of New York has already said that they're not on board with Madani's promise for free buses in New York. And so again, he's making compromises, particularly if we look at this NYPD one that he doesn't even have to make, because it's not. I mean, again, if you're going to make, I'm sure, like in politics, there's going to be some compromises, right? There's going to be some give and take. This is not a place where you need to compromise. This is totally within your control.
And how about it's something that they already tested and tried and it worked? This is not like a new, this is the thing that kills me. People like, oh no, the buses, how you gonna pay for the bus? This shit has already existed. Y'all relax. Relax, right? But this is, so just to piggyback on it, the housing, this big housing thing, right? Housing, the affordability. But his answer is to build more housing. The minute your answer in a city that has millions of empty apartments is to build housing, you on board with the wrong people. I already know, because you don't need to build shit in New York. There is enough empty in New York to manage this. There was a whole program. My mother reminded me, because one of her best friends was in it. There used to be a homestead program in New York City, and a group of tenants could start a co-op, could make a deal with the city, and as long as they took on the work of fixing the building, they could then buy the building as a co-op. There's a ton of buildings all over New York City that function this way, right? Bring that shit back. How about that? And then you can fix up all the empty buildings that don't have tenants. Like, all of this stuff is doable, but they just, you know, like you have all these people like wilding out and pretending, and come out real quick just because this shit was so good, what they pulled together. I dropped the link in the chat if you don't mind. And this is from The Daily Show. And it is such a like, they did such a good job of pointing out how media just flows in with this manic chaos for no fucking reason. And then it's all for nonsense. But I watched this the other day, and I've watched it like 10 times since, because it so perfectly lays out how the media just be playing in everybody's face.
Okay. Yeah, ready? We'll play it.
New Yorkers are going to flee. They're going to flee New York because of Zohran Mamdani.
To my liberal friends who keep saying, well, tax rates don't matter, then why is it, Sean, that everybody is leaving New York?
The main reason people are leaving New York, for example, is taxes.
New York City, unfortunately, we know friends that have moved out of there for Florida and other places.
The millionaires are leaving in great numbers.
Taxpayers, the wealthy in New York, leaving.
There are thousands of people who are leaving New York. Who would want to leave? Well, apparently a lot of people do if they get to a point where they're taxed to hell.
And the rich people will leave in droves.
The quality of life here is spiraling down the commode of Mayor de Blasio, and they will leave.
And the reality is the most affluent and the strong companies can relocate.
A lot of people I know of are thinking about moving out of New York City.
You could just talk to any one of the top real estate agencies here. It's going to be fire sale in New York.
We actually have thought about moving because the taxes are just so burdensome. I mean, in New York, it's insane.
The millionaires in the city who, if they move out, heaven help New York City.
People are leaving New York City and New York State because of the high taxes.
You cannot continue to tax people. Don't you see what's happening even in New York City? They're running out of money. Why? Because the rich people are moving.
New York's population of millionaire earners, that has nearly doubled since 2010. There are 34,000 New Yorkers making at least $1 million or more.
And the music does it, like the minstrel music in the background. That shit is such a perfect, and this is what they do, right? This whole, you know, like this Mamdani scare. And listen, not for nothing, we talked about this on Friday. I don't for 1 second believe that he's going to truly serve any purpose. I give him zero credit. I'll be happy to be wrong. I'll be happy to come back in like 2 years and be like, my bad, apologies, Mamdani, you actually did something. I'm not opposed to the possibility, right? But I have no trust in it at all that this is going to happen. But I will say the one benefit is that it does show at least that there's some people who recognize that something is not fucking right with what is happening right now, right? Like, we talked about this on Saturday too. Shout out to Andre Easton, who's running in District 15 in New York. Like, we talked about this. Like, we have to find a way to engage people now in this moment that there's so many people that are asking the question, like, wait, why is shit so fucked up? Like, why can't I eat? Why can't I buy groceries? Why can't I find somewhere decent to live where it don't eat up 50% of my bill? Like, I'm just like, it's wild. The whole thing is wild. But that was a beautiful breakdown of how they've been telling you the same shit for years, and it's just not true.
And people, the other thing that I just read a story about, again, connected to him. So there's a young New York City council person who wants to challenge, who's apparently more left than Jeffries, right? Hakeem Jeffries, which is not hard to be, but so this person is more left. And they did a huge effort in terms of supporting Madani. Madani's already telling him not to challenge Jeffries, that he doesn't want left-wing challengers in the Sky Joint, DSA also. But Madani is already trying to slow the roll of other folks who are seeing his victory as a way forward for left candidates to use progressive ideas to get into office. He's already telling them, because again, he's bargaining or whatever. So he's already telling them not to do that, because Hakeem eventually, 3 days before the election came out and gave an endorsement or something. So he's already trying to stop others from, again, using the same vehicle, or who helped him with his vehicle, get elected as someone who's supposed to have progressive or left-leaning ideas. So already he's, again, falling. Thank you. Somebody put it up in the chat. Said even less socialist than Madani is. No, what's this guy's name? Oh, here we go. I guess it's Chi Osi or Os. Left DSA in 2023, definitely a progressive, even less of a socialist than Madani, though. So he's encouraging him not. In fact, I read some article that said he disinvited him to his inauguration party or his victory party, because of it being leaked out that he was about to challenge Hakeem Jeffries for his seat. So again, all of these, instead of a progressive coalition, a left coalition, that is an insurgent coalition. And we saw the same thing before with AOC, that they begin with this idea that they're going to challenge, and then they immediately are told to heal. They're immediately told to back off. And now you have several years later, somebody like AOC who's actually supporting Biden or cozying up the Pelosi, and not calling the genocide a genocide. Only takes a few short years to heal them and to put them in their place. And it sounds like Madani already, the signs are, I think Renee is correct. The signs are already there that this person, again, even if you take them at their word, that their rhetoric is legitimate, that they hold these politics, they're already being told to stop what you're doing, to not challenge the officialdom of the party. Whereas again, the Democrats, the moderates and so forth, the party overtly challenge, right? The two most progressive Black House of Representative members primaried them with millions of dollars coming both from Israel or PACs that support Israel. And the Democratic Party not only did nothing, but actively support their party folks like Hillary Clinton actively support the insurgent candidates or the primary candidates to get out their incumbents. And so it shows the kind of thing that we're on here. And Madani is already, again, showing those signs of somebody who will easily, be taught how to be put in his place to get a little something out of what was supposed to be this huge agenda.
Yeah. Apologies for all of my internet issues, more than usual today. And I know I've missed a little bit, but I guess I'm just catching up in the chat, and as always, it's hilarious. But I do want to address this, kind of like talk about Mamdani, right? Like, mostly coming from Esme, I guess. But really, like, just to kind of highlight, right? Democratic Socialist is not socialist. Mamdani has said every time he's prompted, every time I've heard him say it, he says, I'm a Democratic Socialist, not a socialist. He may have referenced people like Eugene Debs. He also referenced Thomas Sankara, right? But do I think that he's an anti-imperialist radical? Like, no, I don't, right? These people have a history of speaking to people who have more radical politics than them, so that they can get the credit for those radical politics that they do not hold. He could personally be a communist. If he's not governing like one, though, it doesn't matter for us, right? So when we say democratic socialist, right, we mean that he is looking for a kinder, gentler capitalism, right? I want people to have free buses in New York. I want people to have, I want a lot more than that, right? But let's be clear that, like, if we're dealing with the imperialist monster that the U.S. is, and someone like Mamdani is willing to kind of scrape away some portion of that wealth for people, for public good, right? He is no different than an AOC or Bernie Sanders, who are also not anti-imperialists, who are also not anti-capitalist, but who always hold up the type of Western European socialism that depends on the immiseration of the global South, right? That depends on the imperialism, right, and neocolonialism, right? So he may do things, right? He may do good things for the people of New York, but I think it's really important that we be clear around what his politics are, what politics he's representing, what are the historical trajectories that he's aligning himself with, and where have those people ended up, right? Because you could say AOC's been playing the game, but AOC, in her playing the game, has done everything for herself in her own career and done nothing for the people, right? She's still very popular where she is, right? That's great, right? But as Kamal was saying, right, like the bar is so low, right, for anything from the Democratic Party that you can speak to things, you can give people what are essentially crumbs and get a lot of credit for it. So I just feel like, you know, I harken back to like what Ricky was saying or Erica was saying previously around like, what we just need to focus on is how we can organize to push him to get the things that we want, right? But the fact that he did not come from like a working class or a people-based movement, right? So we should not assume that he's going to do anything, right? We should push him on everything. And right, when he inevitably disappoints, right, we won't be surprised because we've had a clear view of who he is and what his politics are, and we've been moving regardless to what we want, right? So like this whole thing about like, I don't know what y'all want or whatever, like we want people to be organized to fight and to fight for like ourselves, to fight for what we need. But any of this, we're never going to take some kind of politician or individual and put everything on them and say that they got it all right, and we're not going to ever critique them. Like that's never going to happen. You're never going to get that on this platform.
And it should never happen. Like, not for nothing. Like, the point is not just to be like, oh, the Democratic Socialists want. Like, we should always be questioning, right? Because there's always going to be room to question. And I mean, maybe it's just me who thinks this, but I'm not seeing like world change towards socialism in the US anytime before I leave this earth. So I for certainly can't imagine a future in which I'm not running my mouth and saying this is horseshit and we need to do something different. And so, you know, and it's, you know, like I don't know that all the questions all the time that happen in the chat are like genuine questions, or if it's just to like put something out there or whatever have you. But you know, I think this is also the danger of somebody like Mamdani, right? Is that it confuses the issue, because you got people calling him a communist and he's just not. He's telling you he's not a socialist, but yet people are still associating him with socialism. And for me, the big problem is when he does shit, right, that doesn't go well, that doesn't work, or that turns out to be a disaster because he's trying to do things in this way that keeps him aligned with the people he needs to be aligned with, people are going to think that bullshit is socialism. That to me is the real, like, that's the real problem that I see coming, is that people confusing his quote unquote democratic socialist stance as actual socialism is going to only further confuse the problem, which is why, again, we got to be out in the streets making sure that people are clear on what is not, and how this is going to work moving forward if we're actually going to see any legitimate change that's going to affect the material conditions of regular working people.
Word. All right.
Before my internet dropped.
Yeah, really. Thank you all for being here. It's a Tuesday edition. Please like the video, subscribe, share the stream, do what you can to engage, get people's eyeballs in this direction. Black Liberation Media, if you want to support the channel, blkliberationmedia.org, patreon.com/Black Liberation Media. You can find some exclusive content there. And merch. We've got merch available. So get yourself a hoodie. It's a cold winter. Y'all ends better bundle up. Go get your Black Liberation Media merch, your swag, and get out there in them streets and do what you can.
Well, before we want to do one more story. I think
Yeah.
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 I thought we had a little bit more time. Yeah. I mean,
Can we do the Supreme Court
you know
declines?
the private? Well, let me just say, the private chat though, Air Doc, you could pop on screen.
What you say?
I hate you so much. Wait a minute before you, because he created a he already created a, what is it, the picture. Don't you do the Giuliani story, right?
Yes, the Beijing King.
Yeah, because otherwise he's created a thing, and then people will look and be like, well, they don't even talk about Giuliani, so why is that up there?
Thank you, Kamal, for
No, I know how that part works. I mean, I may not follow it all the time either. It's like, I don't know why you picked that, but yeah. But so mean to me. Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani, other key figures allegedly involved in effort to overturn 2020 election. Again, there's been no federal charges against Giuliani, but he's already been pardoned.
I have a question. I have a question about that. Does him being pardoned, even absent of federal charges, does that absolve him of the civil judgment that was ruled against him by the Georgia election workers?
And it also doesn't prevent him from being charged in state courts. It's only federal court.
So he still got paid in black women their money.
Well,
and I think there's still a debate around whether or not you can pre-pardon somebody before they was charged. I don't think, I think people have threatened to do this, but I'm not 100% sure in terms of the constitutionality of pardoning somebody before they've even been charged with anything. I mean, is it like a blank? Can you give somebody a blanket pardon? So maybe let's listen to the story. Maybe it'll give us a little bit more details real quick.
Bruce, good morning to you, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, President Trump was at the football game last night as this was all coming together, telling reporters only, quote, "It looks like we're getting very close to the shutdown ending." Now, the president has stayed out of all of this. Instead of negotiating and talking with Democrats, he has urged...
They're talking about the bipartisan deal there. I'll just read the story. Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani, other key figures allegedly involved in efforts to overturn 2020 election. President Donald Trump issued a sweeping pardon to key figures allegedly involved in the plan to arrange an alternative slate of electors and expose voting fraud during the 2020 election, according to U.S. pardon attorney Ed Martin. Trump pardoned high-profile individuals allegedly involved in his attempt to overturn the election, including Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Boris and Epstein, John Eastman, and several others. It says, and 72 other individuals allegedly associated with the effort to challenge the 2020 elections. The pardons are largely symbolic, as no one on the list was facing federal charges, and Trump does not have the ability to pardon state charges. Dozens of people on the list face or are facing charges connected to investigations in Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, and Nevada, although most of the cases have stalled. The pardons, which Trump appeared to have signed on Friday, covers each of the president's co-defendants that were charged in Georgia in 2023 for a sweeping scheme to overturn the election results. 4 of the pardon recipients pleaded guilty in the Georgia case. It says this proclamation ends a grave national injustice perpetrated upon the American people following the 2020 presidential election and continues the process of national reconciliation, the pardon says. I'll leave it there. So basically, I'll say Giuliani also faces criminal charges in Arizona for his role in the so-called fake electors plot, with the case scheduled to go to trial in January, though officials believe that date will slide if the case proceeds to trial.
I'm so happy for you New Yorkers to see Giuliani's spectacular fall from grace. I know amidst all of this chaos and misery, that at least got to bring a smile to your face a little bit.
It does.
It does. I fucking hate Giuliani, yo. I can't. He's such an asshole. Like, it's just, it's like, it's visceral, my disdain for that jackass. I just,
But he's such an obvious buffoon, right?
Oh, for real.
Humiliated, disbarred, criminally
Yeah.
charged.
And that picture that's a good pic with the hair dye like sweating down the side of his face. Like that was just classic. It's classic. Classic.
But as it pertains to these pardons, I mean, what's the difference between Trump doing this and Joe Biden preemptively pardoning his brother? And I know Hunter legitimately had charges, but Biden preemptively pardoned people that were also not charged with anything.
Thank you, Kim. I forgot about. I was like, there's somebody else who did this, and I could not remember. That was what I was trying to think of. I was like, what?
No, I was just only trying to remember. So did he? I know he pardoned his son, but it was after there were federal charges. But was it before a sentencing or before he was pled or guilty?
So I think Hunter Biden had already entered in a guilty plea, right? And then he was pardoned after that. But Biden also issued pardons for his brother. Y'all didn't know there was another Biden around
I
here.
did not know that. Okay.
Jackson Brown Biden. That's not his name, but I mean, he has a brother. He pardoned like two or three other members of his family. I got that right, chat, right? I know I do, but y'all know the name.
No one else in the chat is saying the same thing. So you probably are correct. Yeah. And obviously, I mean, with the case of Trump still being in office for another 3 years, it's highly unlikely, obviously, that there would be any federal charges against any of his co-conspirators, at least over the next 3 years. So I guess you are correct about if Biden also did this to his son, and there's been no talk of ignoring those pardons and charging him, then maybe this is something. I just don't know if this has been tested in terms of the law of the land around pre-pardons as opposed to pardons. But
so here's the funny thing, though. But even if, let's say, for example, America does get back on whatever it was doing. My point, if democracy is so-called restored and there's another presidential election in 2028, the Republicans don't win, Trump doesn't get a third term, and a Democrat is elected, does anybody think that Gavin Newsom or Wes Moore or whoever might be, on the bench for the Democrats, is anybody going to try to prosecute anyone from the Trump administration for any of the shit that they are doing? Right? If we could use the Obama administration as an example, all the blatant war crimes committed by Bush, Cheney, et al. Did Obama do anything to try to bring any justice or whatever to the situation that Bush, Cheney had caused? Absolutely not. And look at how the Democrats are acting right now.
Mm-hmm. Why are you bringing up old shit, Kim? Why are you bringing up old shit?
because I remember that old shit. I was idealistic and thinking Obama, the first black president. Oh my God, he's gonna charge Bush and Cheney for these war crimes that killed hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. Like, this has got to be punished. Nothing, nada, zip, zero.
Nah, he was too busy joining them.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Right.
He
couldn't. So what's going to happen to these ICE agents, these HSI, these people that are kidnapping folks, blatantly breaking constitutional and civil rights? Like, I haven't heard a single. Well, Krasner said something. Krasner when, by the way, in Philly? I'm just curious. I don't know, but I only heard one local attorney general mention potentially charging criminally these federal agents for the illegal acts that they're committing. I haven't heard a single congressional Democrat even bring that shit up. Like, oh yeah, when we reclaim the White House, we're going to make sure. Where's the accountability? Where's any of the so-called justice coming to bear?
It's not coming. And if we're unlucky enough to get Gavin Newsom or any other Democrat in office as the president, I can make a couple predictions. ICE will not be defunded, neither will the police. It will not be shrunk. It'll probably grow. None of those people who have been hired are going to get fired. What else? What else won't change? I don't know, man. It's just, and I think also like the way in which the Democrats have very publicly been moving to the right, not just during Harris's own campaign, but even afterward, the way they've intentionally learned no lessons from that campaign. Like my read is that they're going to continue to move to the right. They're going to pick some white man like a Gavin Newsom to run. If he does win, because the Republicans have been so awful, as they always are, there will be no reason for the Democrats to move left, right? Because they will have been rewarded for all of this nonsense that they've been doing since initiating the genocide back when Biden, was in office, right? So I have no hope for these people not only learning their lessons but also like changing anything fundamentally. Like I think it's going to have to get a lot worse before they're forced to do anything, unfortunately.
And the Democrats will be timid. They won't. Yeah, like there won't be any more talk about going after the Trump administration during their time in office if the scenario happens where the Democrat wins. All the graft, which is like this publicly reported as if it's not a big deal. The getting of planes, the getting of golf courses, his son-in-law making deals all across the country in his father's name, his stepfather's name, or his father-in-law's name. All of this stuff that's happening all across the country, which on its face sounds like bribery, sounds, it's like laying a certain foundation for family wealth that, again, I'm not saying did not happen before, but the levels, the openness of it happening, the Democrats will not say anything. One, because they've done it themselves, Biden being, the Biden family being one. But two, because they don't want that they don't want the tit for tat. Whereas the Republicans are street fighters. Again, they don't mind a tit for tat. They'll go to war with you. The Democrats are like, we want to pass them envelopes under the table and keep it going. We want to get back to that era.
Restore order.
Restore order, exactly. Restore order. Let's get back to that era where it was okay to do it in that way. So yeah, it'll just be something until the next Republican administration comes in, which again I doubt. I mean, I know we're running out of time. I doubt if Gavin Newsom is going to win the presidency anyway, but we shall see. It all depends on how wrecked the economy is.
Can't count a white man in America, sir. Can't count a white man out.
You're gonna get on an interview. Somebody gonna ask him a hard question. He's gonna be like, "That's interesting." You know what? Interesting. It's so interesting that you would ask me that question.
Or he'll go back. He'll talk about how Charlie Kirk was a great man and how his son admired him.
Yeah, my son loves Charlie Kirk. My son is a Klansman Kirky himself.
You just reminded me. And we don't have no time. Have y'all seen the mix-up, like the mashup of Erica Kirk talking about how awful it is that people would want to watch public executions, and then they slide in Charlie Kirk saying that there should be public execution? It is the funniest. I almost fell out of my chair. She's like, first of all, she's a fucking robot. It's the weirdest thing. She's definitely like
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And every time I watch her talk, all I think of is that weird ass movie Stepford Wives with the like they were all in like some kind of cult like shit is wild, yo. But anyway,
thanks.
It's funny as hell. Because she's like, I just don't understand why anyone would call to see someone publicly executed. And then here comes Charlie Kirk. We should have public executions. They should be during halftime shows. I'm like, did you even know who the hell you were married to? Like, what the fuck? Listen, y'all. I can't.
Speaking to somebody who knows.
What's that?
I'm starting to feel like D'Angelo after he dropped that How Does It Feel video. Huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a lot of comments in the chat room talk about these guns being out. You know what I'm saying?
Were there that many comments in the chat for you to bring it up?
It was a nice amount there. It was a nice amount. The guns being out like that. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying?
All those comments positive, ear doctor, or
they were. They were. But I mean, I'm about to cover up. I'm about to be on my 3/4 shit on my god body.
See, a little objectification is good for you. Look at what it did for your ego, for your confidence, right there.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap.
With no shirt whatsoever.
Hey, it's time to wrap this show up.
Hope somebody pinch you on your butt today.
I saw your arm.
Do they do that? Do people do? They shouldn't do that if they are still.
They should be.
Damn, Ricky says she was slut shaming. Oh my God, I feel. Anyway, let's wrap this show up. Evan got a big ass speech. Go ahead, Evan. What you got?
I got a lot of stuff. Okay. starting from the top, this week's ASSG, Assange Core Study Group from PACA, we will be talking about.
Is that the healthcare stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Privatized healthcare, insurance exploitation, and healthcare is a human right. That's going to be on November the 12th, this Wednesday. Join us in person or online at 7 p.m. Also, PACA is turning 10 years old. So we're going to have a 10-year anniversary party. That's going to be a fundraiser. That's going to be on November the 22nd from 5 to 9 p.m. All the links are in the private chat, so someone will share them. Also for that, this is our week of action coming to the week of action for the 15th through the 23rd to defend Venezuela's sovereignty. That's BAP, that's DPC, that's United National Anti-War Coalition, and others. There will be a rally on the 19th. Stay tuned for more information with that coming soon. Just follow our socials and you'll get that information. What else?
I think that's it.
That's all I got time for.
Gosh. I'm glad y'all out here doing stuff, man. Big up to all the organizations y'all doing it. Anything on your side, Kim?
Yes, you can come and hang out with me tonight for Burn It Down with Kim Brown, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I want to look into this TikTok trend I've seen about this woman who's been calling churches around the country doing a social experiment, asking for a can of evaporated milk, and many churches told her no.
Damn.
Oh, baby formula. I'm sorry, not evaporated milk, but baby formula. And they were like, nah, we ain't got it. So are black people still giving our money to the churches? If so, why?
Renee,
So
what you got coming up
on stage that no one else can drive? What was that clip with the dude? Somebody was at a congregation. Somebody was like, "Oh, this is the church's car. Can we drive it?" He was like, "No, God wouldn't want that."
Look, Ed Doctor is working really hard to get us to end. Look his face. He like, let's go.
What you got, Renee?
So real quick, first of all, folks, please go back and watch last Saturday with Andre Easton because he dropped bars. He's legit. It was a very, very good show. This weekend, we're going to have Laura Sheehy on and Avi, and I'm not even going to attempt to jack up her last name, but they're going to come on and talk about exigent sadism, which is a very new thing for me. I'm reading the book now. It is quite the thing. So we're going to learn a lot, and we're also going to be joined by Austin from BAP for a little bit to talk about the kickoff for the week of action for Get Out of Venezuela. And for people who are curious, tomorrow I'm going to be on Millennials because we are talking about that crazy ass documentary, The Perfect Neighbor, which is all done via police cam, like the body cam. Like 80 to 90% of the documentary is told from the viewpoint of the body cam. So it's depressing though, y'all. Don't watch that shit.
No, don't go watch it.
Awful. But watch it. Watch me and Samantha Youssef and Jared kick it on Millennials tomorrow.
Okay. And November 22nd, we got Kamal K. Franklin.
Oh yeah, I'll be doing a book talk in Los Angeles, November 22nd. Black Legacy Books, I think it is. And we also
Black Lantern.
Thank you so much. It's called Black Lantern Books. It is a bookstore and library, and actually it was founded on books that were left to this group of organizers and activists from a former Panther who passed away. C&B actually is supporting not only our chapter, but also supporting the library by renting the space. So folks want to support and give any donation. We'll be talking about the book, No Cop City, No Cop World. It starts at 6 o'clock on November 22nd. If you go to my socials, I'll have it posted all over the place. Yeah, that's what I got for you. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Everybody got something to do. Make sure y'all come back tomorrow and Thursday. We'll be doing a mix. So other than that, come back here tomorrow, 8 a.m. and y'all can come see some more of these guns out.
Hey,
guns. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know, with the Ron Macho Randy Savage Remix Morning Show, y'all. Peace out.
Kiss, like Ravishing Rick Rude.
I can't unsee it. I can't.
Remix. 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 Remix.